The Panthers are giving up. They are giving up. This season is given up.
It's about dang time.
TJ gonna shave his head.
Whoa.
Did you figure out?
Whoa, what?
I don't know, but I will.
So the Panthers have traded Christian McCaffrey to the 49ers for a second round, a third round, a fourth round, and a fifth round in 2024.
You like that?
Oh, yeah. I think it was a good trade for the Panthers.
For the
I think
Panthers,
so,
about the
too.
49ers.
I got a lot.
I don't like it for the 49ers.
Oh, man. I don't hate it for the 49ers.
not-
I'm just surprised at how much they had to give up. And I know a lot of people are probably watching this right now thinking that it's really not that much, but
They don't have a draft next year.
then again, this is a team I guess is
Right.
that's why it's interesting to me because the 49ers, and not to get off the Panthers, but just real quick, the 49ers are playing for it all this season after their technical like starting quarterback got hurt for the year.
So I'm saying to give up your draft for a running back is just like...
And it was the second was the deepest, but we've seen some incredible running backs get drafted, and you have these guys in the second round and later that you have on their rookie contract not having to pay him. I mean, Christian McCaffrey is making a nice penny right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So
I think he will fit very well into the 49ers scheme.
yeah, it is a great system for Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, it is.
Like they have a really stacked offense now. You got Kittle, you got Debo, you got Ayuk, you got CMC now. It's like they got a pretty stacked offense. I think he's gonna do good in San Francisco as long as he's
I
healthy.
mean, he was even doing good this season for the Panthers.
He was doing good.
I mean, he was the only person doing good on the
He
offense.
was, yeah. I mean, yeah. Sorry, bless you. Yeah, he was the only one doing good this season for them.
For the offense.
For the offense, yeah, I don't know. They're giving up because Baker's out, Darnold's out, the rookie they drafted this year out, PJ Walker, nope. we saw that, nope. Now Jacob Eason, who is now the fifth string quarterback, is now starting for them.
Oh, I can't wait. Come on,
Running
Jacob
back
Eason.
now it's going to switch on between Donta Foreman and Chuba Hubbard. Robbie Anderson gone, which I don't know.
That was for the better.
I mean,
that was for the better, man.
It was. But now you got Terrence Marshall, can't catch a ball. Shi Smith, hasn't really shown anything. Chenault Jr., who I think he can do good, but they haven't given him the ball yet. DJ Moore hasn't been doing really good on offense. Tommy Tremble, I don't know. Their offense is not there, and now there's talks of them trading Brian Burns before the trade deadline. I don't clap for that one. I don't think that they should trade him. He is...
There's not a team that's more in a complete rebuild than them, though. So, I mean, he's somebody that can warrant a first-round pick plus maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, but...
Because
here's the thing.
When is his I don't know his contract situation, but I just imagine it being
I don't
up.
know.
Like, why would he re-sign with Carolina? Like,
Well, here's
not,
the,
like
here's
I don't
the
know
thing.
when it's up.
They might not necessarily use all those draft picks for drafts. They might use them for trades.
I don't know about that.
Use their pick. No,
I don't know.
They're in rebuild mode, dude.
This is
they-
the number one team that needs a quarterback, first
Yep.
off, and them trading away all their assets to make it like less look like they're tanking because, come on,
Well-
Christian McCaffrey and say Brian Burns, I don't know why I said that. If they get traded away, it's like easier for them to lose games without making it seem incredibly obvious that they're tanking.
Yeah, so here's the thing. They got Matt Corral, so it's like they technically do have a quarterback. They haven't given him a shot yet.
Yeah.
He's a rookie who they have not given a shot.
They're going to take a quarterback this year.
I was gonna say, but what round did they get?
That's what I'm
Third.
saying, yeah.
It was a
with
third
Malik
round.
Willis
I mean,
and
third
all
is,
them.
I mean, if you guys get 32nd, in the NFL and you get the first round pick, Young is not a bad
That's what I'm
quarterback to
saying.
have.
They're taking a quarterback. There's a lot of quarterbacks in this draft.
I think that'd be a good idea for you guys.
Yeah.
I don't say it's not a good idea, but if Matt Corral could potentially be that guy, don't you want to build around him
If he
rather
could
than
be.
If they
replace
took him in
him?
the first round, you got to take a chance. They took him in the third. I don't know.
But so did
I
every
tell you
other
what.
team.
I mean, they
I
do. So what is his? He's hurt. What is his?
Yeah, he torn something
So
in
it's
his
like-
foot. He's out for the season.
I can't imagine a team that is so desperate a quarterback right now for Matt Corral to come in like halfway through the season. I mean, if he went crazy, like
Is he
crazy,
even able to play? I
He's
think he's
not.
For
He's
the
out for the
season.
season.
So it would be literally a risk.
Yeah, no.
yeah, so there's
I
no
don't
way.
think
I was
they
gonna
would
say,
do.
even if he went crazy with the quarterback talents that are coming out in this college draft class that are going to be coming out,
You're
I would
right.
almost be like, trade him away and take Bryce Young.
You're right. That's granted they have
What would you get
first
for him?
round pick.
If he went off.
He really went off.
Oh, if he went off. I thought you meant like now. I'm like,
Oh, and then again, if he didn't go off, it's just more of a no-brainer to say we're drafting a quarterback no matter what.
I don't risk going with Matt Corral next year, not taking a quarterback. That's
if the talent's there.
which it is, I think.
But you don't think those guys are going to be gone within the first 10 picks? But I think they're going to have a first 10 picks.
You're going to have. Trust me, you'll be in the top 3.
They will have one for sure.
It just sucks because their defense showed a lot of potential, and it's like if you get rid of Brian Burns.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm not sure I agree with.
What,
Yeah.
Brian Burns?
Trade him away.
They got J.C. Horn. They got Frankie.
They have a
Luvu.
potential defense. If you have one good side of football, why ruin that?
Yeah.
Because you don't want one good side of football.
This
is why, because they're, from what I'm seeing, in more than just a 1-year rebuild. This is a multiple-year process right now. And if you could trade away Brian Burns at his peak, you're going to get maximum value for him. Do you really think they're going to win next year?
No.
Well, it depends on what they do. We don't know.
I mean, that's going to require quite a bit.
It's like, what about J.C. Horn?
Yeah, but
He's having a really good year this year. Like, do you trade him away too?
Look what the Rams were able to do in a year.
I mean, for example, Minkah Fitzpatrick got traded away.
Mm-hmm.
He was like their best defensive player. It sounded like insane. They got a first-round pick for him. I forget who they got whenever they drafted with the Steelers pick. But, I mean, they're getting rid of players. They stacked up on a ton of picks. And now, fast forward into the future, what was it, 3-4 years, whatever it was, now they're setting themselves up in a good situation where they have a lot of young talent on
A
their
secondary could use Minka now.
It's like, that's the thing, though. It's like whenever I look at the NFL, I see it as you got to be all in or all out. If you're in the middle here, there's no go. I mean, 49ers are doing it this year. The Rams did it. It worked. The Rams doing it and it working is really opening up the eyes of, like, all these organizations.
It's like when the Steelers in 2017, they should have somehow went all in on to make the defense better.
But
they would have done that.
Exactly.
We're also seeing teams like the Broncos who went all in, and it's not working.
Well, it's never a guarantee.
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, the way the Rams look this year, it seems like they got pretty dang lucky last year to win that Super Bowl. I mean,
nothing's ever a guarantee. In the Broncos,
they did look good, though.
I think the Broncos are more on the side of desperation because they just haven't had a good quarterback since whenever Peyton Manning came in. Like, they have really struggled to have a franchise quarterback.
So did the Panthers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Cam
Newton was there, but like, besides him,
That's him.
really-
That's it.
Yeah.
that's pretty
So
much
the
it.
Rams.
And that was the year they went to the Super Bowl, and they had Cam Newton.
What,
So-
Kurt Warner
Kurt
was their
Warner,
last.
Jared Goff and then
Yeah. I
Matthew
can't even.
Stafford.
Sam
Sam
Bradford.
Bradford, Sam
yeah,
Bradford.
Yeah.
I don't know. The more you talk about it, the more it's like I kind of agree with it, but I'm not fully on page right now. Like, if they're going to trade Brian Burns, then why not trade J.C. Horn as well? Get rid of Shaq Thompson. Get rid of Frankie Luke. Get rid of everyone.
Sure. Well, I mean, like, I guess you don't want to
You can't get rid of
everyone. You don't
the
wanna-
entire. You need somebody.
like
there.
J.C.
You
Horn
can't
is like
just-
super young. Like, yes, you do want to have like those team captains. Brian Burns would be a good team captain, like to have on the team and whatnot, like for sure. Whenever he needs to get paid, he's going to be like one of the
veterans
highest
on the
paid
team. Still.
players in the whole NFL.
Not from the Panthers, I'll tell you what.
The only way I think they could get rid of someone is, again, if they're kind of coming up to the end of their contract and they are worried about them leaving the team and signing with someone else. At that point, trade them. I don't know what the contract situation is, like you mentioned, but
Yeah, I mean, who's the guy? They're saying there's one team that's really, really interested in him.
I was trying to think of teams that would just make so much sense for him to go to them.
Howie
like
Roseman. Everyone's tweeting at Howie Roseman to acquire Brian Burns.
Howie Roseman.
How we doing?
Who is that?
How are we doing? The Eagles, I think.
Oh.
Yeah, I think everyone from the Eagles' perspective is saying to get Brian Burns.
I think
that makes sense.
I think if the Dolphins would be able to go on a little bit of a streak
also
here,
makes
the
sense.
Dolphins would be a good
But
shot
they
for
don't.
them.
They lost their first round pick, so that's gonna be
And-
that's gonna be tough.
The other talks is Kansas City. Apparently, Brian Burns tweeted something about Kansas City, or maybe potentially having an interest to go there. So
makes
Kansas
sense too.
City's another option. It's like
Their
those are
defensive line is really good already, though, and
Yeah.
Karlaftis has been playing good. And I mean,
I
I'm
don't
sure
think it'd be
Brian
bad to
Burns
add.
would freaking love
Yeah,
playing there. Like, don't
exactly.
get me wrong.
If you have an
a
elite
position
line
that
like
they
that.
need, though, wouldn't they rather get a cornerback or I don't know.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what. It's just as a Panthers fan, it's like, well, there goes this season. Because like I definitely did have hope going into the season, getting Baker, everyone coming back is healthy. And the Panthers saying, DJ Moore is like, you were saying this morning, DJ Moore is like now their new number one guy.
They're not open to trading him for some reason.
Right, so that's weird because
it is weird to me. That's
in a talent aspect, Brian Burns is definitely their best player, like offense and defense. Offense, DJ Moore definitely.
Maybe they think they won't get as much as they would be willing to let DJ Moore go for in draft capital.
Right.
So they're like, okay, well, we're just going to stick with him. We're not going to take low ball offers.
And again, man, there's a team or two that would offer quite a bit for a wide receiver.
He's probably
right
like,
now.
shoot.
Well, I'm sure, regardless of what they're saying, teams are asking and inquiring about him.
That's why
so
I'm
sure
wondering-
they hear stuff in their ears. They're probably just not
teams
hearing what they
have
want.
acquired for him, but
you
they're
and I
saying,
talked about Chase Claypool, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, the Packers apparently want to go all in on this.
I was
dude.
going to say, I
Which
think
I'm
Chase
open to.
Claypool could
I am
literally
open
get
to
the
that.
Steelers a first-round pick, actually.
Yeah.
Which
wow,
is
that's
Which is crazy.
it wouldn't make sense for them to get rid of him.
We got him in like
for
the
much
second
less than
round.
that because they drafted him in the second. I think that's right.
I think it was the second round.
They drafted him in
but
the second round.
You
so
really
like,
think they would give a first for Claypool? That's a stretch.
The only
I do
I
think
do.
he would. A lot of people say he's a first round talent.
I do.
Oh,
which I think he
that's
could
such
be.
a stretch. Because like think about it. Would you rather have Claypool or DJ Moore? And think about how much more you'd have to give up for each one. I don't feel like it's not that much of a
Have
difference.
DJ Moore. I mean, DJ Moore.
I don't know. I do think Claypool does have a lot of talent. We weren't able to see it with Ben, obviously, because Ben was on the down. But like,
Oh man, that's such a stretch in my opinion.
Dude, teams are desperate for wide receiver
Mhm.
right now. Like
It's a
that's
passing
like
game,
a
dude.
missing. That's a missing piece on a
the
lot of
Packers need it
offenses.
big time.
They do, but I don't
feel
know.
like they need a second piece as well, though, if they would do that. I don't know if just Claypool would be enough.
Well, they have Lazard, who's been.
Didn't he go
Oh.
out, though? I thought he got injured.
Oh, is he?
I don't know if he came back.
I think he's back.
I think
now.
he's.
Okay.
I thought he was back.
Because I looked at his injury report today and I didn't see anything on it.
Okay.
Not even questionable. So
Yeah, Brian Burns, the Philly is like the big talks right now. When is the trade deadline? Is it in 2 weeks?
November 11th or something like that.
So 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Stay tuned because we will talk about it if any of the trades happen. But yeah, Panthers fans out there, I salute you. Yeah, let's look forward to next year because
hey,
they are giving up.
49ers. The one thing I will say about the 49ers real quick before we head out, trading for another injury-prone running back because that is their issue. Every running back that they've had, like
Yeah.
literally,
Yeah,
like 5, 6, or 7 of them over
Give
the past
up
like
all
2
your
or 3
draft
years.
picks for a running back.
Yeah.
That could,
Seriously, think of all the running backs that they've had. I
They
swear
all
you,
get hurt.
everyone,
Every single
everyone's
one.
got hurt.
And to be clear, I want to make it clear, I'm not angry that the Panthers got rid of Christian McCaffrey. I don't think it's a bad trade. Just want to put that
not
out
for the
there.
Panthers. No,
I don't think
it was a bad trade for the 49ers.
There are
So I
Panthers
just-
fans that are upset that McCaffrey's gone, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad move.
I don't think it's a bad trade for the 49ers.
You got so much capital for it,
Right.
honestly. It's no first rounds, but again, all those picks are.
That's what they wanted a first round, but yet the Rams and the 49ers were the only teams going for it, and none of them have first round picks.
The only reason why I don't think it's a bad trade for the 49ers is because besides the Eagles, like it's pretty open in the NFC.
Yeah.
It's very open in the NFC.
Right, but I just
So it's like
His injury
this is a really good opportunity to like make a Super Bowl. There's very few teams you really have to like worry about.
They definitely are going all in, which we'll see if it works out.
We'll see.
We'll see if it works out. All right. Bye.